Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. Today, we're going to be talking about the Korean horror film, A Tale of Two Sisters. This is probably, out of all the must-see horror movie lists I scoured, this one came up a whole lot as well, which is surprising. You don't see a lot of Korean horror movies, at least like on the platforms that we have available to us. I feel like there's not that many ones that come so highly recommended as A Tale of Two Sisters. So when the movie opens, the family is bringing Sumi back from what looks like a mental hospital. She's being brought back from a mental hospital to live with her sister, Soo-yeon, and her father and stepmother. And as the movie goes on, it appears as though the stepmother is evil and abusive, and particularly targets Soo-yeon. And Sumi keeps trying to tell her father and everything that stepmother is evil and blah 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 blah. Leading up to, how old is this movie? Okay, we don't care about spoilers then. Leading up to the end, when we realize that pretty much we've been watching a like psychotic, schizophrenic episode like the entire time. It's revealed that the stepmother hasn't been there the entire time. Suddenly the stepmother actually appears at the end of the movie, and she's been away this whole time. And Soo-yeon is actually dead. So this entire time it's just been Sumi imagining all of this as a result of a trauma she suffered a couple years back. So this movie is based on an old tale that I don't think I'm gonna be able to pronounce correctly. You know, not even gonna try. I'm just gonna put it right here. For all the K-pop I listen to and all the K-dramas I watch, I can't pronounce that well. But I think the original tale does deal with like an abusive and homicidal stepmother. And there was also there's also an American remake, which I didn't realize was related because it's not the same title at all. So it's The Uninvited, and I saw that movie forever ago, not realizing that they were related. And when I think back, from what I remember from The Uninvited, if I remember correctly, they change it up a little bit. Like the twist is kind of the same, but they've changed it up slightly. So I would say it's more like loosely based off of A Tale of Two Sisters. And the title was different, so I didn't even think about it until I started kind of like researching this movie a little bit, and that came up. Don't remember being that impressed with The Uninvited though. So this movie I did quite like. I really liked the tension building in this, and you kind of, at least for me, I kind of didn't know where it was going for a lot of it. Like I got that the stepmother was supposed to be evil, and it was kind of like Sumi and Soo-yeon against the parents a little bit, but I didn't really know where it was going. And it kind of goes a little batshit crazy at the end when there's like some very interesting fight sequence kind of between Sumi and her stepmother. Her stepmother is trying to murder her, and there's this whole thing with like a cabinet and a body in the cabinet, and it all doesn't make sense until you get to the end, and then it makes sense. Basically at the very end of the movie, we get to see the full flashback about what happened to Soo-yeon and Sumi's birth mother. Basically their birth mother hung herself in Soo-yeon's room in this wardrobe. And Soo-yeon discovers the body, and in her shock, she like recoils, and the cabinet like falls on top of Soo-yeon, suffocating her. And the stepmother comes in and finds Soo-yeon like that, like being crushed to death by the cabinet, and she just leaves the room. At the time she was like her father's assistant or something, so obviously she had, you know, some intentions on marrying Soo-mi's father. So she just leaves Soo-yeon and her mother like that, exits the room, and she runs into Soo-mi on the way out. And Soo-mi, it's very obvious that she didn't like her back then as well, and they have words, and her stepmother tells her, "You're gonna regret this day for the rest of your life," or something like that, and Soo-mi storms out of the house. Turns out her sister, her mother was dead and her sister was dying in the room, and she just left the house and they died. And so in her guilt over that, she developed some sort of like schizophrenia, paranoia type deal, and that's the movie. So it is a nice little sick twist at the end, but it all made sense. Like, because for a while I was getting a bit worried at how strange it was going, and I'm like, I don't really know how this is going to play out until you realize that the stepmother hasn't been there the entire time, and Soo-yeon has been dead this entire time, and Soo-mi's just been playing this out in her head. Then it all makes sense, and then that made the movie good. So I was getting worried up until the twist ending, but it was really enjoyable. I highly recommend it. It is directed by, the movie was directed by Jee-Woon Kim, who also directs I Saw the Devil, which you will be seeing a review of either tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember the order. All three of the Korean horror films I'm gonna talk about are available streaming somewhere. Either on Netflix, or I think I found some of them on Shudder. I can't remember if I saw any on Hulu, but they're all available for streaming online. So if you guys want to watch those, I know 100% they're available like on Netflix and on Shudder. Yeah, so if you've seen A Tale of Two Sisters, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, and let me know what you thought about it in relation to The Uninvited, if you've seen that one as well. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch that, because I feel like it was marketed like as a remake of that, but I don't remember it being like that. I don't remember it being this story. Anyways, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already. And until next time, stay strange. Bye. If you noticed, I kind of grouped them similarly, so we're gonna do all the Korean horror films in these next 3 days, so starting with this one.